Oh, imagine this. Picture yourself waking up each morning with legs that feel absolutely strong, unbelievably stable, and just bursting with energy. Those are the top 7 vitamins, my friends, for truly strengthening your legs. Rest assured, the days of muscular weakness, agonizing cramping, and the constant, dreadful fear of falling? They can be things of the past. Proper nutrition, you see, is absolutely the key to maintaining an active, independent, and wonderfully self-assured lifestyle. And now, prepare yourselves, because we're going to reveal the 7 most effective minerals and vitamins that will help you maintain strong, unbeatable legs. A daily difference in your mobility and overall well-being can be yours, all thanks to these vital nutrients, which enhance muscular performance, safeguard your precious bone density, and improve your circulation. This incredible film is absolutely perfect for you if you enjoy dancing with joy, taking leisurely walks in beautiful parks, or simply cherishing your independence. Before we begin this journey together, I would be so delighted to know where you are joining me from today. Please, feel free to ask any questions or leave a remark below. And make absolutely sure you never miss a single health tip from Senior Health by subscribing and enabling notifications. Let us work together, hand in hand, to create a better, more resilient future. Vitamin D, oh yes, that's the very first nutrient we absolutely must discuss, because, of course, our bodies change as we gracefully age. Deterioration, sadly, causes a loss of bone density and muscle mass, which in turn makes it so much harder to do the things that were once so easy. Not only does it cause brittle bones, but a lack of vitamin D is one of the most tragically ignored causes of this decline. The proper functioning, balance, and strength of your legs depend critically, absolutely critically, on this vital vitamin. Let's take a closer look, shall we, at why vitamin D is so crucial for older adults' leg strength and how getting enough of it can dramatically improve their mobility and general health. Getting enough vitamin D from sunlight, unfortunately, gets harder for older skin. The situation is even worse because many elderly people avoid being outside as much as they used to because of changes in their lifestyle, perhaps an inability to walk as easily, or even the understandable fear of skin damage. What is the devastating outcome? A systemic weakness that gradually weakens the muscles and makes the legs feel shaky. Muscle weakness and an increased risk of falls in the elderly are directly, undeniably associated with low levels of vitamin D, according to repeated studies. Vitamin D helps prevent accidents and fractures by strengthening muscle fibers, improving coordination, and enhancing balance, according to a study published in the esteemed Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. On the flip side, tragically, individuals suffering from a deficiency encountered a heightened rate of muscular atrophy, which rendered even the most fundamental tasks, such as ascending stairs or rising from a chair, so much more difficult. While proper calcium absorption and bone health are absolutely essential, vitamin D's benefits extend far beyond those areas. This supervitamin boosts neuromuscular transmission and protein synthesis, 2 processes that have direct, powerful effects on muscle performance. Imagine it as a way to keep your leg muscles going strong. Without it, they have a terribly hard time giving their best performance. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for the maintenance of fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are involved in balance and rapid reflexes, according to research. By enabling the legs to react quickly when balance is impaired, these fibers aid so much in the prevention of falls. A decrease in these muscle fibers' health, brought on by an inadequate vitamin D diet, increases the likelihood of injury, weakens muscular contractions, and slows reaction times. Many elderly people suffered from persistent leg pain and stiffness. However, research has shown that vitamin D can truly help by reducing inflammation in muscle tissues. Optimizing vitamin D levels can provide considerable comfort for those who have leg cramps, stiffness, or inexplicable pain on a regular basis. This may come as a surprise to some, but disregarding vitamin D insufficiency can lead to several severe health complications, not limited to just weakened legs. The scariest of these are fractures and osteoporosis. Fragile bones are so much more likely to break if there isn't enough vitamin D in the body to absorb calcium. The ability to move around and be self-reliant could be severely impaired if even a small fall resulted in a broken bone. And that's not all. A lack of vitamin D is associated with impaired immunity, cognitive loss, and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease in addition to skeletal and muscular problems. Elderly people who don't get enough vitamin D may have weak legs and an increased risk of chronic diseases, both of which tragically lower their quality of life. But is there a way to fix this? Absolutely. Optimal vitamin D levels are simple to achieve and can have profound, life-changing effects on one's health and well-being. If you want strong, stable legs and more vitamin D, here are the best ways to do it. First, basking in the glorious sun. You can get a natural boost by spending just 15 to 30 minutes in direct sunlight, ideally in the morning or late afternoon, to get the most out of it. Expose your arms and legs, but please, use caution while applying sunscreen since it inhibits the body's natural production of vitamin D. Second, vitamin D-rich foods. While it may not be possible to fulfill all your daily needs through food alone, including fatty fish like mackerel and sardines, fortified dairy, egg yolks, and mushrooms can certainly help. Third, nutritional supplements. A vitamin D supplement is absolutely crucial for many elderly people, particularly those who do not spend much time outside. While higher dosages may be necessary for individuals with severe deficiencies under medical care, the majority of experts recommend 800 to 1,000 international units IU per day for optimal bone and muscular function. An easy blood test can clear up any confusion regarding your vitamin D levels. Vitamin D deficiency is now commonly tested for in elderly patients because of the overwhelming importance of this nutrient in reducing the risk of fractures and falls. Next, let's talk about the mighty mineral calcium. Bone remodeling is still ongoing in younger people, but as we age, our bone mass gradually decreases, leaving us more prone to fractures. The legs are especially vulnerable to this, and the most common and devastating types of injuries seen by the elderly include hip and femur fractures, as well as stress fractures of the lower extremities. When bones don't have enough calcium, even a little fall that wouldn't hurt when you're younger might cause months of healing time or even chronic mobility issues. However, calcium is essential for so much more than just strong bones. Muscle contraction also relies heavily on it. The intricate relationship between calcium ions and muscle fibers is absolutely fundamental to every motion, from simply walking to getting up from a chair. Calcium ensures regulated movement by acting as a trigger for muscle contraction. Inadequate calcium intake can cause muscular cramps, weakness, or the inability to produce the force necessary for stability. This is why a lack of calcium causes many people to have weak muscles, slow motion, and frequent cramping in their legs. So, how can one make absolutely sure their bodies are receiving adequate calcium? Milk, yogurt, and cheese are among the best sources, but they're far from the only ones. You can also get a lot of calcium in foods like sardines, almonds, bok choy, kale, leafy greens, tofu, and fortified plant-based milks. One must have variety for optimal bone maintenance and constant absorption. It's best to include a variety of calcium-rich foods in your diet. Those who have trouble absorbing calcium or who have food limitations may find that the amount of calcium they get from food alone is insufficient. Supplemental calcium, especially when coupled with vitamin D, which increases the body's ability to absorb calcium, can be incredibly helpful in this regard. Nevertheless, there are cases where more isn't necessarily better. Although calcium is absolutely necessary, too much of it, especially in supplement form, can cause problems with the digestive system, kidney stones, and arterial deposits. Finding that sweet spot is absolutely essential. The ideal daily intake of calcium for older persons is 1,000 to 1,200 mg mg, which can be obtained through a mix of natural foods and, if needed, supplements. In addition to consumption, physical activity is a critical component in the absorption of calcium. Walking, resistance training, and even mild running are all examples of weight-bearing workouts that promote bone remodeling and aid in directing calcium to the areas of the body that need it the most: the muscles and bones. No amount of calcium can fortify your bones and joints if you don't walk about. Calcium deficiency weakens so much more than just bones. It takes away people's freedom of movement, participation in things they enjoy, and their precious autonomy. A life of independence, steadiness, and self-assurance starts with calcium-supported bones and muscles. 3. Despite the prevalence of discussions about protein and calcium when it comes to leg strength, few people truly understand the critical role that vitamin B12 plays in neuromuscular function. The proper functioning of your nervous system depends on it, as it maintains the strength and accuracy of the electrical impulses that travel down your spinal cord and into your legs. Muscle weakening, instability, and a gradual loss of control over movement might tragically result from improper signaling in its absence. Legs that feel heavy and exhausted, often accompanied by numbness or tingling, are among the most prevalent symptoms of a B12 shortage, which should come as no surprise. But here's the shocking issue: among the elderly, vitamin B12 deficiency is surprisingly prevalent because of its reliance on intestinal health. Vitamin B12 absorption is more delicate than that of other vitamins, which can be stored in fat or absorbed from a broad variety of foods. In order to absorb vitamin B12 from food, your body needs a certain protein known as intrinsic factor and enough stomach acid. Absorption can be further hindered by aging-related declines in stomach acid production, as well as by gastritis, acid reflux, and even long-term antacid use. A gradual but constant loss of this vital mineral occurs when you add in the reality that many elderly people eat diets low in foods rich in B12. Feeling weak is just one of the many distressing symptoms of B12 insufficiency. Irreversible nerve damage, affecting reflexes, balance, and coordination, can tragically result from untreated B12 deficiency. The neurological repercussions of a B12 deficiency manifest in many elderly people who experience problems walking, falling down often, or simply feeling like their legs don't work as well as they once did. The deterioration is usually so subtle that people just accept it as a natural aspect of getting older, even though it is completely avoidable. In actuality, restoring B12 levels can significantly affect energy and movement, which is fantastic news. When seniors address their weakness, research shows that their strength, endurance, and leg function all improve significantly. But where does this vital vitamin come from? Vitamin B12, in contrast to many other nutrients, is virtually solely present in animal products and cannot be acquired from plants. Lean meats, seafood, eggs, dairy, and shellfish, especially clams and liver, are excellent sources. B12 pills or B12 fortified foods, such as cereals and plant-based milk, are necessities for people who follow plant-based diets or have absorption issues. And guess what? Since an excess of vitamin B12 is eliminated in urine, it is considered one of the safest supplemental vitamins. Taking higher dose B12 pills or getting injections on a regular basis might help many older folks, particularly those who have trouble absorbing it from diet alone. Optimal levels can be maintained, and the slow loss of leg function that commonly comes with a deficiency can be prevented with regular monitoring through blood testing. However, the most important thing to remember is this: having strong legs is about so much more than it appears. Efficiency, reaction time, and coordination are the topics at hand in the neurological system. Your legs won't react properly to your workout unless your nerves are firing properly. Thus, one of the most underappreciated but potent tactics for retaining mobility and quality of life as one ages is to maintain sufficient B12 levels. 4. Let's not forget the incredible mineral magnesium. Working quietly in the background, magnesium facilitates the smooth contraction and relaxation of your muscles with each stride you take. It supports endurance, reduces tiredness, and prevents those awful spasms by acting as the master regulator of muscular activity. Leg cramps and restless leg syndrome are among the most prevalent yet tragically underdiagnosed signs of magnesium insufficiency. Nighttime cramps, which affect so many elderly people, make it incredibly hard to get back to sleep and get up and about in the morning. This is more than simply an annoyance. It means your body is having trouble controlling how much your muscles relax. Those who suffered from muscular tension or involuntary contractions absolutely must take magnesium because it helps calm hyperactive nerve signals and prevents muscles from unexpectedly stiffening up. However, muscles aren't magnesium's only concern. Bone density and healthy joints also depend on it. When it comes to bone health, calcium is usually the star, but magnesium is absolutely essential for calcium to work properly. This mineral is so important because it controls the transit of calcium, making sure it goes into your bones instead of soft tissues where it could cause pain and stiffness in your joints, which is an integral part of general mobility. Research has shown that older persons with increased magnesium intake have stronger bones and a lower incidence of fractures. Magnesium is quickly lost due to stress, certain medications, and bad eating habits, which is a major reason why magnesium insufficiency is so prevalent. Diuretics, proton pump inhibitors, and several blood pressure medications are among the many treatments that can reduce magnesium levels in the elderly. Magnesium deficiency, which stealthily erodes strength, endurance, and flexibility, is a common consequence of diets poor in magnesium-rich foods. This is why many elderly people notice a slow but steady decline in their stamina, resulting in shorter walks, slower stair climbing, and general exhaustion after even light exertion. Age isn't the only factor. Improper nutrition also plays a significant role in reducing performance. Magnesium replenishment has a rapid and wonderful impact on leg health, alleviating cramps, boosting energy, and re-establishing a feeling of comfort of movement. Magnesium is best consumed through foods such as legumes, nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. Foods high in magnesium include avocados, almonds, pumpkin seeds, spinach, black beans, and yes, more almonds. Magnesium supplements, particularly the more easily absorbed magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate, can be helpful for people who do not obtain enough magnesium from food alone. When magnesium levels are restored, a stunning shift takes place. When seniors get up and move around, their legs react with so much more vitality, even though they were previously weak and heavy. Muscle cramp and stiffness sufferers report feeling so much better after using it, which in turn improves their sleep and mobility. The neuromuscular connections that control steady movement are regulated by magnesium, which significantly improves balance and coordination. 5. Let's consider the power of potassium. Just picture yourself getting out of bed first thing in the morning and instantly experiencing a painful leg cramp. Does this ring a bell? Low potassium levels can cause a variety of symptoms, the most frequent of which is muscle cramps. The reason? Potassium maintains a healthy balance of intracellular and extracellular fluids, making it an essential regulator of muscle activity. Leg cramps and other painful muscular contractions can occur when potassium levels are too low. In addition to being a terrible irritation, severe cramps can be absolutely crippling for older persons who may already have diminished circulation or muscle mass. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. After standing for a long time, have you ever felt your legs quiver, or perhaps you've experienced a stiffness that makes walking difficult? Potassium facilitates regulated movement by mediating impulses sent from neurons to muscles. Low levels make it harder for your brain to send signals to your leg muscles, which might make you feel weak, shaky, or have trouble elevating your feet correctly, all of which tragically increase the likelihood that you will fall. And let's face it, preventing falls is of the utmost importance for our elders. Unexpectedly, potassium is also essential for strong bones, just as much as it is for strong muscles. It aids in neutralizing acidic substances in the body, which can gradually reduce bone density. Research indicates that a diet high in potassium can mitigate bone loss, which in turn lowers the incidence of osteoporosis and helps maintain structural strength in the legs. Potassium isn't only important for muscular function. It also plays a role in maintaining joint health in the legs. The major concern now is how to guarantee adequate potassium intake to sustain your legs. Nature has blessed us with a plethora of tasty foods that are high in potassium. You might think of bananas first, but that's really just the tip of the iceberg. You can get a lot of potassium from foods like avocados, spinach, beans, oranges, and sweet potatoes. Believe it or not, you can get more potassium from a baked potato, skin on or off, than from a banana. For steady sustenance of your muscles and bones, it's important to include a range of these items in your diet every single day. Supplements may appear like a simple solution for people who have trouble getting enough potassium from food alone. So, what is the actual potassium requirement for adults? The suggested daily allowance is 3,400 mg/mg for males and 2,600 mg for women. A balanced diet high in beans, fruits, and vegetables can usually provide this amount. Those who have kidney illness, high blood pressure, or any other ailment that affects potassium levels should absolutely consult a doctor to find out the proper dosage for them. 6. Let's not overlook the vital role of vitamin K. Vitamin K, calcium, and vitamin D are usually the ones that come to mind when discussing the importance of vitamins for strong bones. However, these nutrients will not be effective unless vitamin K is present. Rather than building up in arteries or soft tissues where it can cause stiffness, poor circulation, and cardiovascular disease, vitamin K directs calcium deposits to your bones where they rightfully belong. Vitamin K maintains healthy, mobile legs by directing calcium to their proper locations, much like a traffic controller. This is especially important for the elderly. Bone health, fracture risk, and general bone strength are all improved in people who consume more vitamin K, according to studies. That's because vitamin K makes bones stronger and denser by activating osteocalcin, a protein that attaches calcium to the bone matrix. Yet, that is not the end of vitamin K's incredible function. Maintaining healthy joints and strong muscles also need this vitamin. The importance of strong bones, supple joints, and good muscles in maintaining healthy legs is often tragically disregarded. Research has demonstrated that vitamin K helps alleviate knee stiffness, a common complaint among older persons, and reduce inflammation in the joints. This, in turn, can slow down the course of osteoarthritis. If you experience knee pain or stiffness when you stand up from a chair or for long periods of time, vitamin K could be the supplement you desperately need to alleviate your discomfort and maintain your precious mobility. A lack of strength in the leg muscles is associated with an increased risk of falling, poor balance, and trouble walking. Vitamin K may aid in maintaining muscular strength and coordination, according to new studies. This is especially true for older persons. It achieves this by controlling intracellular calcium levels, which in turn ensures appropriate contractions and forestalls the kind of clumsy motions that can cause instability. Vitamin K1, the most prevalent form in plants, is abundant in spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts, among other leafy greens. Vitamin K2, on the other hand, is present in a more potent form in fermented foods such as natto-fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, and even some animal products like liver and egg yolks. Because of its extended half-life and enhanced ability to channel calcium into bones from arteries, K2 is a very useful mineral. The greatest way to naturally raise your vitamin K levels is to eat more fermented foods and leafy greens. It only takes 1 serving of kale per day in a smoothie or 1 serving of sauteed spinach as a side dish to significantly improve your health. Supplementation, however, may be an option for people whose digestive systems aren't working properly or who are taking long-term antibiotics and thus have trouble absorbing vitamin K from food. However, exercise caution. Vitamin K is involved in blood clotting and can interfere with blood-thinning drugs like warfarin, so it's incredibly important to talk to your doctor before taking more of this vitamin. Finally, 7. Most people don't realize just how important vitamin B6, whose scientific name is pyridoxine, is for maintaining strong legs and healthy muscles. Although numerous nutrients aid in movement, vitamin B6 is particularly important for the proper functioning of nerves, the healing of muscles, and the efficient utilization of protein for the development and maintenance of muscular mass. Even the strongest muscles can atrophy without it, making even the simplest of motions, like getting out of a chair or going upstairs, feel like an uphill battle. The role that vitamin B6 plays in nerve communication and coordination is one of its lesser-known but crucial functions. A lack of B6 can cause these impulses to slow down or be misdirected, which can cause tingling, numbness, and even a shaky gait. A lack of nutrients necessary to sustain appropriate neuromuscular function is the underlying cause of these symptoms, which many elderly people tragically mistake for aging-related muscle atrophy. Preventing inflammation-related muscular tiredness is another incredibly important role that vitamin B6 plays. Reduced muscle pain and maintained flexibility and resilience are wonderful benefits of vitamin B6, which aids in the regulation of the body's inflammatory responses. Boosting your vitamin B6 consumption could be a possible game changer if you've been dealing with persistent stiffness or sluggish recovery after exertion. In addition to its role in skeletal muscle, vitamin B6 is essential for the synthesis of red blood cells. Muscles are fueled and maintained with the endurance required for prolonged activity by these cells' ability to carry oxygen throughout the body. If your hemoglobin levels are low due to AB6 deficiency, your muscles may not get enough oxygen, which can lead to early weariness, heavy feelings, and decreased stamina. Experiencing excessive fatigue even after brief periods of modest activity may be your body's way of desperately requesting additional vitamin B6. How is this vital vitamin produced? Fortunately, B6 is abundant in many tasty and easily accessible foods. Great sources include chicken, fish especially salmon and tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified grains. Your neurological function and muscle strength can be supported by naturally replenishing your B6 levels, which can be achieved by including these items in your daily meals. To attain optimal levels, B6 supplementation may be required for persons with gastrointestinal problems, impaired nutritional absorption, or food restrictions. Older persons usually require about 1.5 mg/mg of vitamin B6 daily for women and 1.7 mg of vitamin B6 daily for men. However, this dose vary by age and gender. While getting enough B6 from dietary sources is usually safe, long-term misuse of high-dose pills can cause nerve damage, so it's important to be careful. The most effective tactic is to prioritize a well-rounded diet that is abundant in B6 sources, guaranteeing a consistent supply without needless dangers. The end. Valuable lesson. The valuable lesson here is that maintaining strong and healthy legs as we age is not just about exercise. It's deeply intertwined with proper nutrition. Ensuring an adequate intake of these 7 key vitamins and minerals can make a dramatic difference in our mobility, independence, and overall quality of life. Don't underestimate the power of these vital nutrients. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful did you find this video? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable health tips.